last game. A few guys, well, pretty much everyone just saying Camille destroying, and I mean, it was kind of true. I think at the start of the game, Pet just already, he just kind of started out behind, right? He started out behind because he lost his fourth base to some Hellbats. He took some damage from the Hellions. He was trading Lings against Hellbats. Then he made 8 MyuNgSiks, which did absolutely nothing, and he had to, he tried to use them as a defense, and, he lost all of them 8 MyuNgSiks defending, and, he just kept getting behind, and, once you're behind, it's very hard to come back against Mech. As Gumiho showed us, it's quite easy to then push an advantage. Let's see what happens here in game number 2 in our second match of the day then, guys. It is MyuNgSiK versus Hydra. And it is Hydra from Root Gaming in the bottom right hand corner. So if you're cheering for Hydra, let's hear your root for Roots in the chat. Again, this is Hydra on this bottom right hand side right now. In the upper left hand corner of the map from Prime, it's MyuNgSiK, our red Protoss player. And he's going to be starting up with the Forge. Oh, MyuNgSiK, what are you going to do? You gonna get cannon rushing on us? Are you really going to do this? Is this really going to happen? Okay then. Alright, I see how it is. Cannon rush on the way. Hydra. He starts up with a pull first though, so not too bad of an opening for him as he's now pulling down a drone to get ready to take his natural expansion. He's about 70 minerals off that right now. He might be able to get it down before the probe can block. In fact, probe going to go straight up there maybe? And he does go straight up and actually misses that drone. Pylon going to be placed right next to this hatchery. And seeing that's not hatch first, he's probably just going to try and fake a cannon rush a little bit. I think Hydra not really reacting to this. I mean, if the pylon goes up, he definitely could. Yeah, okay, I mean, he's putting a couple of drone stamps to the low ground, so he should be okay here. Is MyuNgSiK going to cancel the pylon? He's going to let it finish here, so he is going to maybe try and do this. As the probe comes down and, well, not able to drop anything just yet, and his drone's still on it. Still just going to chase this probe around here. Probe going to perhaps leave? Nope, just going to go up to the high ground then. Up to the high ground and not too much else really happening just yet. So, 6 Lings coming out and they will begin to chase this probe away. And probe going to be turned around here. 1 Ling left to deal with this pylon on the natural. Well, the Nexus comes down gateway as well as a cannon. And MyuNgSiK just getting all set up right now. To just continue in towards the mid game after what was an unsuccessful attempt at a cannon rush. I mean, he didn't really try to cannon rush, just faked it a little bit and looked to see if there was an opportunity there. Hydra already peeling away 4 Zerglings and sending them over to the left side to start working through these rocks. And it'll take them a while to get through there, but if given enough time, they will make their way through, and that could open up a big attack opportunity for Hydra if MyuNgSiK doesn't realize this in time, if he doesn't get a wall up in time. And we'll keep an eye on that as that pylon finally going down over here, and Hydra will probably send this Ling to take some map control. Might send it to join these other Zerglings and taking down the debris over here. MyuNgSiK is able to see these rocks are being killed off, so he should be able to notice this. He should know what's up, and I mean, he can kind of hear it as well, so he knows them rocks are being taken down, and we'll see how he wants to react. This is all about to pop out for him. His Signing X core about to finish, so he can start investing into the Mothership core, and Warp Gate Tech, and Stalkers, and whatever else. Zergling just sitting on this right hand tower now then, and again just Hydra knowing the importance of his map control. He's got a Zergling over at this third base as well. He did pick up a couple of times. He doesn't need the Zergling actually at the ramp anymore. I was going to say he picked up a couple of times, but he's actually just got the Overlord here, so you can see exactly what's going on at the front. You'll be able to see if this Forge begins upgrading. He'll be able to see pretty much everything, and if he just focus on it a little bit, which he might not do. He would be able to see. In fact, he's got an Overlord already coming in this direction, so he's going to see that Stargate here straight away. And what's even worse is he's going to get away with this Overlord. So, I mean, MyuNgSiK really not having the best starts here as this Stalker going to take down a couple of, or take some shots on a couple of them Zerglings. And, okay, so them Zerglings, they got a lot of the damage on the rocks, and again, that could be utilized a little bit later on. They're going to move away now. And, again, just holding the map control, Zergling on each watchtower, Zergling at the third base. And as this Stargate finishes up, we're probably going to see some Phoenix coming out. MyuNgSiK probably going to start hunting down these Overlords, which are, being used right now to see exactly what is going on at every point of the game. MyuNgSiK, one of the first players to, he's a very innovative player. I remember when he used to go for the Mass Phoenix style. He kind of first went for the Mass Phoenix style in PvZ, and it just became such a shock at the time. And I can't remember who it was. I remember a game specifically on Frost. I can't remember who it was against though. And, you know, everyone's like, why has he built, you know, 10 to 20 Phoenixes? And then he came in and he lifted up every single Hydralisk and killed every single Hydralisk, and everyone was like, what? What? Crazy. A couple of Phoenix here are going to come to the top side now, and will hunt down this Overlord. And Hydra are going to lose this as well. Not to be, you know, pretty much expected to lose that. That's not going to become as too much of a surprise to him. Still trying to do something with these couple of links, trying to break through. Stalker's still in position though. And Hydra just playing around with that a little bit while he has a little bit of spare APM. Some roaches starting to move across the map now. A lot more Zerglings as well. Zergling speed about to finish up. And this number of units, Hydra could definitely try and go for some kind of bust here. And Phoenix coming across the map. We'll see these roaches coming across in the opposite direction, heading straight towards this set of rocks. And yeah, I think Gateways and Warlord needed here immediately. An Immortal being Corona boosted. And is it going to be enough? Is it going to be in time? Phoenix will be able to lift a roach at a time here. And slowly start picking it off. But there's a lot of roaches right now, and they're going to start coming up here. There's a few sentries, and there's a couple of force fields, but there's a couple of them, you know, they're fairly well placed, but they do let a few of the Zerglings slip through here. One more sentry has a couple more force fields left on it, and that will help him out for a little while longer. Zerglings starting to connect with these sentries, and two of them will go down. Oh no, just one of them goes down as the first Immortal is out. So I mean, MyuNgSiK has kind of bought the time which he needs. Coming up the ramp here now, Hydra just picks off that pylon. And we'll come up here and snipe these couple of sentries perhaps. And snipe the sentry is pretty important. In fact, only this Immortal left on the ground right now. Nothing else to really kind of save it. And it's going to go down. And losing that first Immortal is pretty huge here. Zergling's going to start working against probes now. As I think there's a roach or two under these Phoenix as well. And they're just going to try and get as much damage done as they can. As MyuNgSiK continues to try and Corona boost out Immortals here. And we're finally going to clean this up. 7 workers killed in total. 62 workers against 60 against 40 now. As Robo Base also come down here as well. Membership Core positioned over the top of what would be his third base. And the Robo Base coming down, suggesting he wants to go into that Colossus tech. Hydra's down already on the way here for Hydra. He's morphing in an Overseer that's going to lose that. Not really too much you could do about that one. Well, apart from having it in a bit of a better position to begin with. Spore Crawler is finishing up to help deal with these Phoenix, and they might be able to pick off an Overlord or two here. As again, interesting to try and morph the Overseer so soon. I think maybe thinking that Hydra might turn around, but committed onto that, and coming in now, going to look for a couple of drone kills. He needs to be careful. That Spore Crawler getting a little bit more damage done, and now MyuNgSiK going to back off here, so a little bit more damage taken there. There's a couple of Immortals, a couple of Zealots are out, and moving over towards this third base. And we'll just be looking to try and defend this for a few moments. So he's actually going to start moving across the map, which is kind of interesting. Okay, he stops now. Is he really going to go? I mean, does he really think he can get something useful done? A few Hydras pulling back, and they will go up against these Phoenix quite nicely, and a little bit more damage coming down on these units. And they will once again go for that Overlord, and they will just pick that off before getting picked up, before one of them loses their life to the Phoenix here. Sorry, to the Hydras here. Again, MyuNgSiK, so he moved about halfway across the map before pulling back, and I mean, again, he doesn't really have an army to do anything with right now. So, falling back, he's going to try and see what he can do. A few more drones being killed off by these Phoenix. And again, Hydra's just kind of moving around the bases, looking to try and stop these Phoenix from doing too much else. The fourth base is starting to be established now for Hydra. Over to this left-hand side, a couple of Extractors are going to come up over here as well. And not all too much happening as an Overseer. Going to start making his way past this third base and probably in through the main base very shortly, try and see what is happening. First Colossus is out here for our Protoss player, and that's something which I assume Hydra knows about because he's lost a unit to it. As Void Ray production also beginning for MyuNgSiK, and Hydra's going to come up this left hand side, a few Hydras through the middle of the map as well, and just going to try and go for a little bit of multi-pronged aggression, try and pull MyuNgSiK apart a little bit here at the start of this, well, at the start of the mid game, I guess. I mean, it's the mid game, right? Third base just starting to come up for both players and starting to get active already here. A couple of probes going down and some damage being taken. A single Colossus, more than enough to deal with this, as a few Hydras do get force fielded off, and there is plenty over here for MyuNgSiK to be able to hold on for now. A couple more force fields will block the rest of these Hydras, and some unnecessary losses there for Hydra. As he starts to add on some Corruptors, he sees the Void Ray as well, and I wonder if he's just going to go for one big Roach Hydra Corruptor timing. Try and end this game nice and quickly. These Phoenix still flying around, not really doing too much else. Well, actually, I say that they're actually picking off Overlords here quite rapidly. Queen's coming forward, are going to start picking up for the shields at these. And again, quite nice to just turn them Phoenix away, keep them away as much as you can. More Cryptos on the way out, more Roaches as well, and I guess Hydra just going to look to max out here as soon as possible, hoping he has enough Corruptors to just fly in, take down the Colossi in a couple of shots. The last thing MyuNgSiK actually wants to be doing right now is moving across the map like this, because, well, I mean, you know, the last thing you want to do is move across the map. If your opponent's about to be aggressive towards you, the last thing you know, if he's building up towards a big aggressive push, you don't want to be walking into that to mid to even sooner in the middle of the field. You know, you want to be sitting defensively, waiting to see what you can do. Second Colossus is here. Where's the third one? Only just in production, so he's been quite slow in getting that. And he has been investing in them Void Rays as well now. As this Roach Hydra, well, Force Fields come down here initially, and straight in here with the Corruptors. And surprised the Roach Hydra moves forward for so long. As now a couple of Colossi have gone down. Going to turn away here with these Corruptors. I mean, a lot of damage already done by them Void Rays, picking off with a lot of the Corruptors, and this last a little bit of Roach Hydra. I'm not sure if it's really going to be enough to push through here, as the Hydras are already going down. There's going to be Void Rays left in the sky, I think. There's a couple of Corruptors left, and they're going to try and make it work against this last Void Ray. MyuNgSiK will hold on. Can this last couple of Corruptors do the work they need to against this Void Ray? I don't think they can, and they will both go down, and Hydra loses everything now. Starts with 12 more Hydralisks. He has 12, you know, he has quite a bit of a worker advantage. He cleans up these Zealots in the main base. This War Prison backing off as well, and looks as though we're going to see some Phoenix coming in here shortly. Resources lost, well, way in favour of MyuNgSiK. So I mean, Hydra, he really does need this worker advantage right now to keep on, to keep it even in terms of this game. 5 on the way, suggesting that we're probably going to look to see Vipers here very soon. And, well, MyuNgSiK just going to take a 4th base. You know, quite often after a fight like that, a Protoss player would probably, you know, a Protoss player could move across the map and say, right, you know, I want to fight quite convincingly. I'm going to move across the map and see what I can do. And MyuNgSiK going to establish his 4th base, and then he's going to start moving across the map to try and see if he can get anything done here. Going to start moving up this top side, and Hydra will see this. He needs to be a little bit careful about where he decides to fight. And of course, the longer he can wait, the better, because if he can get into a position where he can get his Vipers up, that's going to be great for him, as there's not many force fields in this army. So MyuNgSiK is a little bit, you know, he's a little bit in the open, and if he's in the open, he's not got much he can do. This first Colossus is about to go down, and not many sentries again. So the force fields, only one of them going down on the ramp, and it will be enough. There's a couple of force fields left, and Hydra will turn this around. He's got a lot of money banked up. Starting a Radar Spire as well as 3 Vipers now, and Protoss going into +3 upgrades, but I mean, your Berserk player not too far behind on upgrades, even in fact ahead on upgrades, with +3/+2 of his own on the way. And Hydra could maybe come up this left hand side. That's something which MyuNgSiK isn't in the best of positions to deal with at this point in time. At the same time, he could come in and kind of corner this army, although if he does that, it's going to get straight into his main. Pylons going down one after the other here, and just no real units here to deal with this right at this point. There's a few Lings will continue to chase through, and a lot of this, a big commitment here from Hydra going all the way into this main base. As a Void Ray come in, a couple of Void Rays coming in. They need to be careful, because I mean, these Hydras will do a lot of DPS. That Nexus does go down here. Time Up coming down to stop the retreat. Some units have peeled away, a couple of Roaches peeled away into the main base. Stalker's already in position there to help out, as Void Ray is starting to fall to these Hydras. Another Void Ray will go down now, and Hydra trading fairly well here, as he takes down one more Phoenix as well. So just getting rid of all of these Sky units, or as many of them as possible, remaxing on more Roaches, more Hydralisks, and just getting ready to go again. He picked off this for natural Nexus as well, remember, as now MyuNgSiK going to get ready to move across the map, and he does have a lot of Colossi. He's got 4 Colossi in total, and that is nothing to laugh at. So you know, he's got to take this seriously. Hydra with a couple of abducts available will be able to, you know, make a pretty good job of this. You'll have to combine them with Blinding Clouds to really make the best of this next fight, and to really try and take this, because again, it's going to be an important fight for him. It could win him the game, or it could lose him this first game. MyuNgSiK here, sitting back again. I mean, I say he could win or lose. I mean, basically it depends how good the engagement goes, and here we go. We're going to see it right now coming in. First feedback comes down. Blinding Clouds are pretty nice. The abducts are pretty huge as well. 2 Colossi already down, and the rest of them are pretty far forward in this fight because of the Blinding Clouds. But Hydra will get turned away here, and he will disengage, or at least wait for 3 more reinforcing roaches to come in. And 2 Colossi remaining, so they will still add a lot of DPS to this army, as more Vipers being remade here for Hydra. So going to be a little while before he's maybe confident enough to take another fight, although he's going to try and do it as this Protoss army comes up the ramp, blinking backwards here, Stalker at a time. MyuNgSiK just doing his best to trade as best he can, and have Hydra taking a lot of damage as the Stalkers blink forward. He will take this 5th base away from Hydra. And a lot of Zerglings being made now as well. There's not too much of an army still here for MyuNgSiK, and he's struggling on money. He's down 40 supply or so. There's +3 a battle finish up for our Zerg player. And looks as though our Zerg player just going to storm forward here. These Zerglings, if they surround this army, could stop it from retreating. I mean, there's Blink available. These sentries get caught, though. This Immortal is caught as well. And still just 2 Colossi, which are being chased down here. And Hydra's going to start pushing through. 1 Colossus is about to fall. And there it goes. The 2nd Colossus is just going to survive on what? 1 hit point? Yes, it is. But it's not enough. The Roaches keep on moving forward. And GG's going to be called there. Hydra takes game.